This is the Beats and Balls Show. JR the Beatmaker. That Guy Kenn. Mr. Crisp. It's
the whole culture. It's the fashion. It's the music. It's the art. The politics.
This is the Beats and Balls Show.
Ballers assemble. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Beats and Balls Show, the alternative sports entertainment podcast that's passionate about the culture and the sports that we love. Today, we're bringing you the final episode of Season 2 before we take a short break, but we'll be back when the sporting calendar restarts again. I'm very pleased to say that we're finally back in the studio.
Back in the building.
Albeit very socially distanced. We're doing this across two studios right now.
Two studios in the other studio. Exactly. Weird.
It has been a long few months, but we've managed to get through it, and we've brought you some pretty cool working from home style episodes along the way. So make sure you go and check those out if you haven't already. I am, of course, JR, and as always, I'm joined by that guy Ken, and at even more of a distance, Mr. Crisp. How you doing, guys? Good to see you.
We're good in studio too.
You seem so far away.
I seem so far away.
And the thing is, it looks like I'm actually looking at him through a screen again.
Yeah.
It's just too odd.
Which you are. Which you are looking through the screen.
Exactly.
So you got yourself into any entanglements lately, boys? How are you doing?
Nothing like that. I'm actually waiting to get into another entanglement. Quotes at some point, but hey, anything to happen. Like after all these months of lockdown, I need something to happen in my life. It has been so dry, just waiting for something to just.
But don't you think, like, how weird it is? Like, everyone on an individual level is just saying, like, obviously nothing has been happening because we've been locked down. And then you look at, on a global scale, everything's just moving so quickly.
The titanic plates of life have just shifted so quickly.
You know what? It's like a reimagining. It feels like a sci-fi film that you're watching from inside your house because everything crazy is going on outside. Yeah. But inside, there's nothing happening. It's like sitting at home, like watching The Purge, but everyone is doing stuff, and you're like, hold on, when do I get involved? No, I'm not. I don't think I want to get involved because it looks a bit too crazy. But
I think for some it's like, stop the train, I want to get off. It's moving too quickly. Yeah. If you're conservative thinkers, like,
just can't cope with.
I can't cope with this. Yeah. This is going too quickly.
Too much.
I think there's something mad happened every single month, and then we kind of got to July and we prayed nothing was going to happen in July. And then, entanglement. And a whole bunch of other things. I think there's even that Naya Rivera. She disappeared. Yeah. It's not like we're now moving into some kind of...
it's just darkness.
Yeah, Bermuda Triangle. Like, what's next? Like, seriously.
I think life now feels like episodes of Black Mirror.
Yes.
It really does.
Yes.
It's really every month is an episode of Black Mirror, and you think, okay, is it going to be some kind of new 5G conspiracy theory? Is somebody in America going to lose their mind? It's going to be something else, and it's every month now. You know what? And everyone keeps on saying, like, you know what? I did get to a point as well earlier this year where everyone was like, okay, let's just write off 2020, and I said to everybody, like every game or like every major event, the second half always gets better. It always gets better. Don't write off the entire thing until you get to the end of the game. Like,
Miracle of Istanbul.
Yeah. So I'm always that, the second half, I've seen Tottenham did it when I think they were losing some mad game. I think it was
Ajax.
Yeah, or something like that. And they came back and they won it. And I was like, right, okay. So I was like, okay, second half, well, I'm ready to get in. At the start of July, I remember thinking, okay, yes, second half, I'm ready to go. We're now on the whatever it is in July, and I'm like, I still want it to end now. The game is done, ref. Sub me out, coach. I'm done.
Restart.
Well, as we've been discussing, 2020 has been a wild year, and we have all been locked down for the most of it. But as of the airing of this episode, we are officially in summertime. No. So hopefully we've got something to look forward to. Yeah. Summertime is usually when our fondest memories are sort of formed, and there's almost always a soundtrack that goes along with them. So in today's episode, we will be discussing our favourite summer vibes from the past and from the present, and looking at which tracks can best encapsulate this weird time that we are in. But first, we'll be kicking off the show as we always do with our take on what's been hot on social media. It's time for the socials. I kind of touched on in my little intro on what I'm going to be talking about in the socials, and it's this whole Will and Jada thing, Will, Jada and August thing.
No.
I don't even know where to begin with it, really. Like, I'm sure everyone must be aware of what's going on, right? For those who are, it's just there's a young rapper called August Alsina, and he was having a very, very tough time in life. And he found comfort in the home of Will and Jada Smith.
Comfort.
Bit of entanglement.
Why don't you just say they had a relationship?
They had a relation. Well, yeah.
You've got all Jada with your knife cushioning words.
They had a relationship. August actually said that he was in love with her, and that he was so deeply entrenched in this relationship, and it just feels like. Did you watch his interview?
Yes, with Angela Yee. Yeah,
and it just felt so like. He was so vulnerable. Yeah. Like, he's such an intelligent guy, the way he sees the world, but he just came across as so vulnerable. And he was, like, in his early 20s at the time, wasn't he, when this whole thing went down?
Well, from what I understand, it was 4 years ago, so he would have been around about 23 and a half, maybe 24. Yeah. And my take on it is slightly a little bit different, because I look at it from a perspective of forget Will and Jada and forget August. I'm talking about the state of mind. Obviously, with me, I'm very much about King of Hearts, vulnerability, acceptance, and various other things, and mental health. So I really do look at it from that perspective. And my main thing was, you have to see, how did August come into this environment? And that was one of my biggest issues, because I know I'm going to make a joke of it, but it's not a joke. But do you remember watching American Pie?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You remember Stifler's mom?
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett is Stifler's mom.
Pinkett is Stifler's mom, because when you think about it, no, think. Jaden brought August Alsina into their home. They were friends. They were knew each other through the music industry. And Jaden's brought this guy, a little bit older than him, to come and chill at their house. Obviously, he knows he's going through his problems, and come and chill my parents, or come and chill at my house. We have a homely environment that you can come and get into. And he has all his problems. I think his brother had died, and his sister had died, and he was looking after his brother's kids. And I think there was a problem with his mom or something like that. So he's come into this environment.
He was abused as a child as well.
Exactly. And I know the Stifler's mom thing makes it a little bit funny, but at the end of the day,
Jada's a MILF.
Jada's a MILF. Okay. You're saying it that way, but Jada's fucking hot. She's 48. The woman is banging. I'm like, I don't even lie. I'm like, hey, Stifler's mom, I'm there. However, I'm talking about the emotion, the health, the mental health between it, and I don't want to use some of those things that I've seen in social media, like she's a sexual predator and all that kind of. I don't believe that. I don't like it. I don't like the way it's phrased, because at the end of the day, people are people, and the dynamics of someone's mental conditioning and how they relate to somebody, you can't call someone a sexual predator unless you know them intimately, and they don't. No one knows Jada and what she was going through and how she was. However, all I'm thinking is, she's met this young kid, and she's decided to engage in a relationship with him because she and Will are going through something. Now, we don't know the extent of what she's going through with Will, but for her to go and start seeing her son's friend, yeah, I'm not cool with that. You don't go there. That one, you don't go there. But apart from everything else, this whole Will thing and that red table, I watched that interview, there was the
red table talk.
Red table talk.
It was hot that day.
It was funny. You know what? To me, that entire thing was funny. I just took it with it just didn't seem realistic. It just seemed like everything was all pretend and pretense.
Yes. I watched that looking at, this is so staged.
So staged.
The way it was cut together as well, you could see that there was so much of it that was taken out. So yeah, I don't trust that at all.
Definitely. I think, obviously, I don't know Will Smith. I don't, but the rumors are there, and there's no smoke without fire. Will Smith has done his dirty. Like, obviously, to me, this is my. I don't know. I don't. You know, if he wants to take me up in court, that's your business. I don't care. I don't know.
I feel like he's put it out there enough.
But he's put it out there, and then that they've had this open relationship and blah blah blah, and they went out to be happy themselves and this that, and the other. And we all know that he had close relationships with at least 3 big stars that I know of, and that includes Eva Mendes, Charlize Theron from the Hancock films, and then Margot Robbie. Those 3, I know that. But you never know. You don't know what happened with them. But when you saw, like, you know, their film junkets, they were very close. They were always very close in those films. So all I'm saying,
Will Smith, man,
it's Will Smith at the end of the day. And so one of my friends said this. One of my friends said this today. Yeah, whether you are, you know, if you're that big a star and you're in that industry, and no matter how strong in your marriage you think that you can be, if you are constantly surrounded by the most beautiful people on the planet regularly, like Will is in his films, in the life, and the things that he gets to go and do, you're gonna be tempted. Now, like I said, Jada Pinkett is a MILF.
Do you give in to temptation though? It's probably a different question, but
that's okay.
Do we even know we can suspect?
We don't know.
Maybe we like the idea of it.
True.
We don't know.
Maybe
the idea is. Maybe the idea suits our narrative.
Exactly, but yeah, that's just my feel about the entanglement of August. We haven't even got into August yet.
We're still like trudging around in July.
You know, exactly. But what else is happening in social media?
That was the big one for me. I'll be honest. Like, I just wanted to cover that. Like,
you got to hear about Meg Thee Stallion getting shot?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Apparently, well, the allegations are now that it's Tory Lanez that shot her, and I was like, why would Tory Lanez want to shoot Meg Thee Stallion? And then I thought to myself, well, she's 5'10", and apparently he's about 5'3", so she may have called him a short bitch. Who knows? I don't know. He must have like, who are you talking to? Sure. I don't know.
That's like small man syndrome to another
level. I don't see Kevin Hart doing stuff like that.
I see Kevin Hart doing stuff like, you know,
Kevin Hart is solid.
Yeah, but I can see him getting vexed. So look it up like Meg Stallion. Hey, what'd you call me? Hey, Kevin, shut up, you short little.
I can't even see Kevin Hart from up here, man.
You know what I'm saying?
The man is small.
But you know, I love Kevin Hart. Actually, strangely enough, I have more respect for Kevin Hart recently since he had that accident.
So, when it comes to summer anthems, we want to know, or we want to work out what are the all-time classics, the favourites, the go-tos, and also what will be the soundtrack of 2020. So, we're each gonna spend a few minutes discussing 3 pieces of music that will rep 2020 for us. So it can be anything. It can be an album. It can be an album track, a single, club hit, festival banger, whatever. It can be old. It can be new. It doesn't have to be a summer 2020, but it's gonna rep us for summer 2020. Yeah, if that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, just a heads up. Most of mine are gonna be a little bit like nostalgic. Okay. Because for me, summer, I know there's so many different summer vibes, like the festival vibe and all that sort of stuff. I just want to sit down, enjoy the sun, have a cider, and just chill to some nice summer music. Yeah. That's my summer vibes. So that's what I'm going to be about. I guess
I'm going to mix mine. I'm going to mix mine up a little bit. Okay. So I've got a couple of new start. I've got new tracks, very, very new. And then I've got things to remind me of 2020. I know songs that would come, it'll be played, and I just think 2020. But yeah.
Okay, cool. So do you want to kick us off?
Okay. Yeah. So my first track is, so what I did, because I spent a lot of time this summer listening to music. I just was really, and I did listen to a lot of old stuff from Damien Marley, Nas, and everyone, and some new stuff. And I started listening to new music, and my friends know. So basically, this year, this track came out, and you guys know the candy dance. You're like, the candy dance. You know the ones you go to a wedding and everyone's doing the candy dance.
Oh yeah. I think
yeah. So there's a new track. You find this here. It's called. It's by an artist, South African artist called KG, and the name of the song is Jerusalema.